Introduction. Hello and welcome. My name is Dominic and today I will be presenting you with my VLOG3. I will be talking about gender, age, lifestyle and spending power for the film This Is England. The reader. Steve, 25, lives by himself in his own house where he loves to hang out with friends and play Xbox. He loves going to the cinema to see a lot of the latest films which have been released, where he often attends his local cinema at least once a week with his close friends. He loves being creative, either on the computer or off it, where he has a high passion for designing and creating a variety of things. Although his disposable income isn't higher than a lot of people, he still continues to spend it on what he loves doing, which is buying games, fuel for his car to go out, and money for when he goes out with his friends. He often attends going to the pub with his friends for a drink, and he takes pride in his appearance and has high expectations for himself, with big desires of being promoted at work or even getting a better job, which will pay better. Gender. The gender of the film is aimed at 70% males and 30% females, with the majority of people who watch This Is England are males, because a lot of the film is to do with violence, racism, robbing and threatening people, and comes from a lot of male perspective in the film, with it being linked to the genre, which is a crime/drama, which is stereotypically aimed at males, with most females wanting to see romantic films. Although the film is mainly aimed at males, it is also aimed at females to view, as in the film there are a lot of women characters used, and it allows us to see that the film isn't just aimed at violence, and it does have some relationships in it. It also shows how women used to dress and how they acted, and especially how they acted around some characters who were racist and violent and committed crimes. And it doesn't just show how males grow up, but women as well. Age. The age of the target audience has a large variety, because although the film is rated an 18+, it is viewed by a lot of 15-year-olds, as they can relate to the character and then can see how he is growing up and makes stupid mistakes by hanging out with the wrong people and doing the wrong things. But towards the end, he learns this and changes his ways. Many teenagers can relate, as the film has used a main character that isn't much younger than themselves, and it does learn them, and we can see that the violence and racism is wrong towards the end, and it shows us that we should know who our true friends are, and not ones who are going to lead us into trouble. A lot of the audience who watch the film are over 18, because it is rated this because of the violence, swearing and racism which is in it, which doesn't just show a boy growing up and hanging around with the wrong people, because it's the adults who he looks up to. Which make him do and follow the people he does. For adults who watch the film, it shows them that you can say and do things, and it's easy for people to follow you and make them want to stay with you. So you've got to do the right thing. Lifestyle. The lifestyle of the audience is aimed at a variety of people according to the NRS lifestyle grades, like affluent achievers, who are people who are going to understand the film and what it's about. They are able to understand the different scenarios, like why the big group of friends split up in the film, and why the adults go around robbing stores and threatening children. Producers will be interested in watching the film because they make films as part of a living, and then they can take ideas and inspiration, as the film may relate to theirs in the sense that it's produced on a low budget. Another lifestyle grade that may watch the film is people in urban ventures, who are interested in films which have been produced near to where they live, or even where they live, which allows them to recognise familiar locations, with them also having access to a variety of cinemas. The lifestyle of the audience are likely to spend a lot of their disposable income instead of saving it, and shopping in shops like Primark to get more for their money. What tells us this is that a lot of people who watch it can relate because of the lifestyle that the characters have, where some have enough to get by and are happy to hang out with friends. The target audience can also relate to the film in many ways because the characters in the film enjoy going out and hanging out with each other and spending money on clothes to go out and impress. They also take time with their appearance and have their hair cut into a fashionable style so that they can go out and impress, which is something a lot of the audience may do. Spending power. We know who the target audience is aimed at by looking at the NRS demographic profiling system. A lot of the audience who watched the film are in B, C1, C2 and D class, because people who earn less money and are less educated are likely to see a movie which has been produced on a low budget and doesn't have any famous actors in it. People who are well paid and well educated who fall under social grade A, which is upper middle class, where they are likely to watch a Hollywood blockbuster because they have a big disposable income and are well educated, where they're famous actors which are shown at big cinemas. The target audience will fall under the social grade A. The reason for this is that the audience will have enough money to go to the cinema and see a film, but they are educated enough to understand what's happening. Users and gratifications. Dennis McQuail, 1972. 4 reasons that people consume media products. Number 1, surveillance. The film tells us about information towards the history and culture because it shows us about Margaret Thatcher and troops in the army being sent away from England. It also shows us about how white people used to treat black people and how some people didn't like them and discriminated against them. Escapism. The film gets us away from the real world by showing us a boy who grows up and goes through all these different changes and problems in his life, and some of the audience may even be able to relate to this. Number 3, building personal identity. The film allows us to fashion ourselves around what is seen in the film, like the different clothes which the characters wear, like fedora hats, etc. The film also allows us to fashion yourself around the different soundtracks which are played, like Tainted Love by Soft Cell. Building personal relationships. In the film we can take away from it that we shouldn't discriminate against anyone from our friendship group, and it doesn't matter if they are different in any way. Key stats. Male 70%, female 30%, age 15 to 24 and 30 to 50. Social class B, C1, C2, D 60%.